You guys, I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are coping with this whole lockdown. It's not easy. I think one thing that does keep you sane is to exercise and to look after yourself. It's been a difficult time, and but I also realize now with training, I want to move more. I want to be more active, and I want to feel like I'm burning more energy because you're so restrained to moving around. So it's really nice to do a bit more high intensity programs and to be able to just be more active and move around. Guys, I just wanna, on starting our second week, I just wanna explain a few things that we want you guys to be doing in the second week. So we want to try and increase your intensities, and I also want to speak a bit about increasing intensity. What does exercise intensity refer to? It's how much energy is expended in a training session. So there's certain ways that you can increase that energy burn per session, and I speak a lot about that to my clients to help them to also take a program when they're training on their own and just be able to really work harder and to be able to burn more energy. First thing I think that you can do is to concentrate more on compound movements. Now, to explain that in an easy way, a compound movement is a movement where you will be using more than one muscle group at a time, more than isolating a certain muscle group. For example, doing a squat. When you do a squat, more than one joint is worked, so more muscles are coming into play, like the glutes, the quadriceps, also the hamstrings. And our isolating exercise would be doing leg extensions. We're only working one joint, that's the knee joint, and you are isolating the quadriceps. The other thing that you can do is very important that you understand this, to increase your reps for the same weight. Now this is where a lot of people go wrong. They decrease the rep, the weight, and increase the rep. So they substitute one intensity for another intensity. That you can't do. So you must go into this training program saying, okay, last week I did 15 reps with 20 kilograms. This week I'm going to try and do like more repetitions for that same weight. That will only increase intensity. You can't now go and say, I'm going to decrease my weight and do more repetitions. So always try and keep your weight the same and then do more repetitions. The other thing you can do is doing more resistance or more weight for the same amount of reps. So if your program is 12 reps and last week you did 25 kilograms, now try and do 26 or 27 kilograms for the same amount of repetitions. The other thing that can increase intensity is your rest time in between your exercises. If you are used to resting 1 minute, some exercises where we do a lot of high intensity training where we would not train or not talking in between, or not letting your mind wander, and say to yourself, I've got a 3-second limit where I need to change from the one exercise to the other exercise. What I think helps a lot there is to study your program beforehand.
Especially now that you don't have us there, that you look really through the videos before you start.
Yeah, knowing what exercises to come. Otherwise you're going to stop. First read your program and then move on. And that's really going to influence your intensity. So make sure that you got a good idea what the exercise is. Or for instance, now you don't know how to do the exercise. You didn't watch the videos. Now you first have to stop, go back into the video and check how to do the exercise. That's all going to decrease intensity. So make sure that you know exactly how to do each exercise with the correct form. Saying that, guys, please do not lose your form when you do high intensity training. We tend to now work a lot harder, get tired. And also when we get tired, we seem to forget things and we seem to not be so focused anymore. Just slow down and keep your form. Remember, when you slow down the exercise, and this is another way of increasing intensity, when you keep the time on the tension more, that's also going to increase intensity. So it's also always good to train slower and to keep the tension on the muscle for longer. other thing, coming back to the slow training that we're just talking about, is training techniques. So there's some really fun stuff that you can bring into your training to make it in the intensity more. Supersets, giant sets, trisets, drop sets, rest pause, double pumps, all these kind of things. You can take the same exercise and just increase the intensity just by bringing in that certain training technique. The other thing is to do plyometric exercises in between your sets. That would be stuff like star jumps, mountain climbers, pop squats, squat jumps, and those kind of things. And then the other thing that I do with my training sessions at the end is to bring in an ender. I call it an ender, something that's really gonna kick your butt on that last bit of energy that you have. So there I would take, like for instance, 3 exercises in a circuit format, and I would do 100 reps of each. So you would really just go out and train till muscle failure. Like let's say you do push-ups and you do 23 push-ups, and you go straight into cable crunches, and you go straight into barbell curls, and you really just keep on working for that 3 exercises non-stop, just to really take that last bit of energy out of you.
Yeah, and from my side, I just want to talk a bit about nutrition. I think we're all struggling with that at the moment. We're getting bored or getting stressed, and we turn into food, and not usually the right food choices. And I want you to realize, actually at the moment, because you're not as active, you're not moving around as much, you actually need less calories. So almost scale down on food instead of scaling up. And 2 ways you can cut back on food is carbs and fat. Try keep your protein constant. You're still training, I hope. Carbs also lead to quite a lot of bloating and water retention if you're eating the unhealthy kind at the moment. So if you feel a bit puffy, I know I have lately, then it's likely from that as well. So cut back a bit on food, get back into a routine. I think because we don't have a normal working day, no one's really coping in terms of routine. So what I would recommend is making a routine with your meals. So plan your meal times and plan your training time. Because once you've got those 2 under control, it's much easier to stick to a diet and to implement a good solid training routine every day. So I'm definitely going to start that from this week. I think we've all had about a week now where things have been a bit out of control with food, so try to get back on track from now. Another thing is there's no restaurants, we're not eating at restaurants, so there's no temptations like pizzas or pastas out, so you deciding what you buy at the grocery store and what you're bringing home into your house to eat. So really try just keep to a diet plan. I mean, I think we should all stop feeling sorry for ourselves and turning to unhealthy choices, and really start nourishing our body to deal with stress and exercising to deal with stress, instead of just eating when we're bored and when we just feel like it, because there's not much else to do. So I think get into your diet, decide today what you're going to do and what you're going to eat, and start implementing it, or you really are going to feel more stressed if you come back after this lockdown period fatter or bloated or whatever. I mean, you actually have more time to train at the moment, more time to cook healthy foods, learn a bit about interesting ways to spice up your meals, making things tasty through herbs, through anything like that. Not just making a cake because you have time and you wouldn't usually, you know, rather than look for a healthy alternative, because there usually is one.
Yeah, Julia, I think that's crucial that we all look at our nutrition at the moment.
It is 80% of your results.
Yeah, and I think more in this time as well, where we need to be more healthier. So I always say, just thinking more healthier and living a healthier life, you will stop eating sugars, you will stop eating refined carbohydrates, unwanted fats and stuff. So it's really at this time, emphasize on just making yourself healthier and making a healthy environment for you and your family.
Yeah.